What is going on, guys? It's your boy Cash, and we are here today to talk about Dragon Blood. Hey, it's not me. It's not me. I made my video without knowing any prior knowledge of what was going on, and as you guys can see that they are just changing Dragon Blood. They did a post, I think it was translated on the Reddit. Even though I feel like sometimes the Reddit hates me, I love you guys. I love you. Even if you hate me, it's fine. Shout outs to, where's my boy's name? Lycanes? Please forgive me. You know what you did with your name. But he pretty much translated this, or he just updated it. It's from the Facebook post, and I'm not gonna show Facebook, cause yeah. So I'm happy that they did it, and anyone that does stuff like this, if they post it in one place, you put it back where people actually gather, because not everyone goes on Facebook. So thank you so much for doing this, by the way. So pretty much we're gonna look through here and we're gonna look at what they're changing in, because I didn't do a video on the other thing because all they did was say that, you know, we're gonna try to reduce the time it takes to. It doesn't tell me anything. You know, that's a waste. Like, it's nice to say that they were gonna do it. I didn't know how quickly they were gonna do it, but it's nice. So what were you guys gonna see in this video? I'm gonna let you guys know early is that we did a bunch of testing. Me and my boy Tachi, we did a bunch of testing to see how effective Dragon Blood is currently and try out some more theories. We recently just shown blind being a nice counter to the Dragon Blood meta. We wanted to do a little bit more testing, like attack break. A lot of people have been saying attack break. Can I use attack break to lower the amount of damage that Wrath is? And I'm going to show you guys that a little bit later because I want to explain it, pretty much explain it to you guys. We also tried defense buff. We tried those two things specifically in order to see what we can do as far as like defending yourself against the Wrath. And I also want to show you guys something that is not pre-recorded and something that you can use to help yourself in another content, which is the dragon, which I'm going to do a guide on that probably either sometime today, or I mean, I might do it today, but it will come out possibly like tomorrow, because I feel like a lot of people don't understand how important the dragon is. It's probably the most important thing that you do in the list of things. The other things help you get to the dragon, and the dragon is one of the consistent ways that you can actually get here on a regular basis. So anywho, let's talk about Dragon Blood and the changes here. So this is going to be a more serious video, by the way. Not so many jokes. I kind of want to be more direct and upfront. So this part of it is pretty much the same. The Great One, overtime effects. If an ally with the Great One mark is attacked, it's granted the Dragon Blood mark only once per turn, excludes damage from Wrath. That's the only change that they did do to it. So now Wrath on Wrath violence is not a thing anymore. So everything else will trigger counters thrust, but Wrath itself will not trigger the added additional Dragon Blood mark. Reason why that's a little bit different, it's going to slow the amount of Dragon Blood marks, and also I think it makes Anastasia a little bit stronger in the 1v1 when there's two Dragon Blood characters fighting. She has the heal. This is a cool change to like lower the amount of time, as I said, in the Dragon Blood matchup, but it's definitely giving a big edge to Ana, in my opinion. Dragon Blood, if the target is marked, if the target is attacked again, it stacks up +7. I think that that's the same. It either stopped at 7. Some people were telling me it stopped at 10. I could have swore it was always 7. If the marked target doesn't take a hit for 2 turns, lose all Dragon Blood marks. So as we know now, that's pretty much basically the same, but yeah, now we know that the Wrath doesn't count towards it. Now Wrath has been reduced. It used to be 70% per mark, now it is 50%, and you know, that does help out, but I'm going to give you guys a little bit additional help on that. No, it's not blind, because everyone's telling me blind, I can't do it. And then last but not least, Dragon Scale seems to be the same once per turn upon taking damage, granting barrier. So it seems as though the barrier will keep triggering. I'm pretty sure that means that the barrier will keep triggering, but I have some examples, so I guess I'll just look at it and see if if the barrier keeps triggering over and over again. So what I'm going to be showing you guys here are a couple examples of the new Dragon Blood and some other ways to get around it. Some other, I almost don't want to say counter anymore because you know, but there's some other ways that you can get around it a little bit, and I wanted to first start off by debunking attack break. Attack break literally does nothing. It's so unfortunate. So one thing that people have been trying to figure out is this thing right here. Well, not that whole thing. Is what is this damage? What is this Wrath damage? Is it scaling off of the attack of the person? Is it scaling off of like a accumulation of shit? Like what is this thinking I'm getting hit with? Because if I can find a way to mitigate that, I can be a little bit more free in my attack pattern. As I saw, I tried to blind the characters so like they don't do any damage at all. What is the best way to get around this outside of just killing the character, which is, you know, definitely what you want to do. You don't want the character to stay there forever and just gain stacks and stuff. But what are other ways to get around it? Oh man, my counter character attacked it. Or oh man, they were weak to nature and now they're just getting free stacks. How do I mitigate it, or how do I do anything like that? So a lot of people have been theorizing that attack break works. So we went to we went through the trouble trying to showcase it at different levels. So these are a couple of fights that I'm just gonna pop up here on the screen so you guys can see. So what we did is that we had a set team, right? And we wanted to make sure that before we did anything that we knew exactly, you know, how much damage the Wrath was gonna be doing. So we counted it each time. So I'm gonna play this video again. Well, not again. This is my friend playing LD Player. LD Player looks like it handles this game pretty well. His he didn't seem to have any lag. I might switch over to some LD Player, man. These are trials when we have Fergie in there. She has an attack break and Emma has an attack break. So we was like, as long as one of them goes off, we should be fine. You know, at least one of them goes off. So we started calculating the damage that, you know, no matter what happens. The first couple bits of the fight are kind of irrelevant because we're just trying to get to max stacks, because it's hard for me to judge like, okay, that's a 3 damage Wrath and that's a 4 damage one. So we're just going to go by when it's maxed out, then attack break, does it go down? It's an easier way to do the math from that point. So what we notice here is like, boom. So 491 is I can tell you guys what it is. So 491, the next attack that's gonna go on to Fergie is going to be 1091 when she attacks. And we're only talking here about the Wrath. The 1091, you guys can see it right there. So we're just trying to see what's the damage of it. So whenever we change the gear, you know, either we change Anastasia's gear or if we change a gear on my character, that's how we start to figure out how this Wrath damage is actually coming about. So here's the big thing. I'm gonna fast forward it a little bit. So now that I'm gonna break it down, hopefully you guys understand that part of it, right? She's at 2 stacks right now, and we can kind of do, right? That's 3. She's gonna get hit back. That's a number, doesn't matter right now. 4. And also every time she gets hit by the nature, she's gonna get it. So I counted that too. So at this point, she is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I think here is 7. And once it gets 7, it's maxed out, as we already know that, right? So this is 7. And I think here we okay, so Fergie so this is keep this in mind, 380 3822, right? Hopefully I can get a pause on it, right? I know in post-production I can fix it up a little bit. She's gonna take, oh, she blocks this, 1399. You guys see that? That's a little bit easier. And now is going to take 2935 when he attacks. 2935. Now this is max stats. So no matter how long this battle was to go on, every single time she's going to do that damage. So it's stuck at that damage. So now, just for not really argument's sake, but just for discussion, 2935 on your tank, it's not that bad. I think that that's healable. I think that Anastasia right now in the meta can heal that right back up. It's a little bit more manageable. The problem I think before is that it was stacking up like crazy. And yes, this is only one character with Dragon Blood. What you really want is that multiple characters have it, so the Wrath counter is stronger and it's bouncing off multiple different characters. Cool. But right now, I think that that's a little bit more fair. When it's one character, that's a little bit crazy. Or remember, this is 7, so on one character, but there could be 7 spread across 2 to 3 characters. And if you're doing front row and back row, you know, there's gonna be, I think 7 is a reasonable amount that you'll probably see. You'll probably see even less, because some people will only attack a character a few times and that character just dies because they're nuking it. So on that scale, I think that this is pretty good damage, you know, and this is, like I said, that's on a tank. I don't want to see 7,000 or some of the other ridiculous numbers that I've seen, you know. So this is me asking him about the stacks, how many stacks he's at. And you can see, like, we've counted this correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's correct. He's at 7 stacks, and that's the max that he can have currently. Right? So he just throws a random attack. Now this is the attack break. Oh no, this is fine. That's actually perfect. You have max stacks. You're literally king. So this does 3446. I think I have 3446, and she is currently attack broken, right? Now, what's really important is that we know that Fergie is take 3822. We know that Ulum takes 2935, right? We do know that these things to be true, right? Oh, here we go. Perfect. You're gonna have to revive. Okay, good. So if attack break works, right? In theory. She's attack broken. She in theory should take do less damage than 2935, right? She should take less. Sorry, Ulum should take less, but he still takes the same amount. He still takes 2935. And just to prove to you that I should show you, I guess I should show you the sequence, right? That wasn't cleansed. Ulum went directly after Karen did. And then boom, 2935. So that's the same damage. So that should automatically prove that attack break does not work. Now, Dust, right? So we knew that she took 3446, right? She's clearly still attack broken. She hasn't had a turn, right? And Tachi fucking puts the menu up. We were so mad at him. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Why'd you pop it up at this time? And then Fergie here. We know Fergie took 3822. 3822, same thing. So we still know that she's attack broken. All right, so that's just a general basis, right? So to even prove further if the attack break works or not, we raise the attack of my Emma, because if you guys don't know how attack break works, let me show you. So her attack break actually works off of her attack. So the less attack she has, the less she's going to break off of you. So we then changed her attack. So we went from the base of her attack. So we went from, as you can see, she's level 66, right? She had no gear on before. So I'm gonna go back, level 66. Her attack was 732. We put some gear on, and her attack went up by 980. Now, you might not think that that's enough. We increased the attack. I mean, you can say maybe, oh, why did you, if you brought it to 1200 or something like that. It didn't change anything. The same damage was put out by the Wrath. That proves that literally the attack break has nothing to do with it. The damage that Wrath does is based on the base attack of that character, and it does not matter. It just does not matter. Unless someone can maybe prove a drastic attack break, possibly, and prove me wrong, but at the moment, I will confidently say that it didn't matter. Because there's no way I can prove to you, even with the recordings that we did. So like, this is when she's has her stuff, right? She has a different thing, and it still hits for the same. I'm just trying to like, I can show you guys a lot of footage because we took a lot of footage, but it would make the video dramatically long. But this is the Emma, the same Emma, with now that's the gear that you see with her that I just showed you. Still taking the same amount of damage from the thing. Didn't make a difference. It just didn't make a difference. Same thing with Ulum. So then we started to see, okay, so Ulum takes 2935. So if it's based off of her base attack, right? So that would mean that everyone should be taking the same damage. That means everyone should be taking this versus this versus this versus this. So the first thing that we did is that we upgraded Fergie. Now you guys know that Fergie took 1091 on the first try. She was base level. She was literally level 1, bare bones woman. Bare bones woman. And I leveled her up a little bit and I put her into the fight. This might seem like basic knowledge to you guys, but I'm just trying to be transparent. So we leveled her up. And also, if you see here, another thing that I want to tell you that we tested, we also tested by lowering and hiding her Anastasia's attack as well. So that's how we figured out that the base attack is what was actually causing it, because we lowered her defense and ran it. We lowered and kept the attack the same. We ran it with the attack being different. We tried to see like what is causing the thing to increase, and it's her base attack, but it is not affected by attack changes during the match. Yes, it's weird. It's very weird, but that's just how it's coded into the game. Let's continue. Now we also noticed that now the first time we put in Emma, she took 491 from the first hit. Sorry, I didn't zoom in on this part. This is still from the Discord. So now that she has gear, she's taking less damage. It could be gear attack. And you can see there, Fergie, now that she's leveled up, took 800 damage instead of 1,000 that she took on the first run that we did. So it's defense. Defense is the way that you can actually counter in-game as far as mitigating some of the damage. Now I know that I was criticized for saying that blind, like no one has blind, and there's not that many characters that have defense buff, but we did test that out. So once we figured out that defense is a way, so we say, well, what if we give a defense buff? And then that enters in this character here. Now the only thing that has not changed throughout this entirety is Ulum. We have not touched him at all, so he should theoretically be still taking that 2935, right? That we know him and love him to take. He hasn't changed at all. So what we're looking here is that this character here, I forget her name, Obelia. Oh, you know what? It would be smart if I showed you guys when she first gets hit, right? When she first gets hit on her opening turn. She took 1091. I started the recording a little bit late on turn 2. So she takes 1091 on the first hit. Now this is what happens when I 5-starred her, literally. So now she's 5-star. She has some gear on. But the reason why I wanted to prove this is that I wanted to prove that it's not ignored defense or stuff, because it's coded very weirdly. You would think that if it's scaling off the attack, you should be able to attack break and bring the damage down, but you can't. So I wanted to prove that if the defense is there, but if I put a defense buff on top of those characters, is it the same thing? So we wanted to make sure that we nip that in the bud as well. So gotta, what is it? Dot your I's, cross your T's. So now the first turn, you know, Emma's gonna take that same damage, that 476 that she's now taking. She's taking 963, so she, you know, the defense is going up. And block kind of ruins everything. Block makes this so annoying and so frustrating to do, let me tell you. But see, look, she's taking the same amount of damage. Everyone's taking the same amount of damage that they're normally taking around the time, and it's the same sequence. So here's the defense buff. So she's at max stats. As you guys, I've already shown you that everyone's doing the same thing. They're attacking the same way. It's the AI. It's not me even fighting. It's the AI fighting. So they're doing the same thing over and over again. Wish this media player had a better. So Ulum here should take not 2935. That's what he should take. It should reduce the damage a little bit. And it, oh my god, it happens so quickly. Tasha did less damage. I was like, wait, there's like 5 numbers that popped up. What do you mean it did less? Here we go. So Ulum, my boy. Attack. I don't think he blocks this. 2831. Hopefully you guys can see that when it popped up. So he took 2831, so it did reduce it by about 100 something damage. Now, like I said, like her defense, the defense buff that this chick gives out is not like the best in the fucking world, but her defense is 795, and she gives out, I think, 50%, 35% of her defense to all her allies. And what's also important to note is that she removes all status effects, which is really good against these Ulum comps. These Ulum comps, because she gives out AoE provoke, and then you actually would cleanse it, and then also put a defense buff. Again, for the 18th, umpteenth, thousandth time, I'm not saying that this is the end all be all, but the more you guys know, the better you are equipped to go out and fight this stuff. As I've said at the end of the Grisel video, I just want you guys to win. If you're having trouble, if you can't do the easiest way to just nuke the fuckers, nuke them out of existence, but you're like, oh man, I don't have that character yet, but you do have this character, you do have Griselia, you do have that, you do have that. I want you to know that you can invest in it. And as you guys seen, I've taken a decent amount of hits upgrading these 4-star characters just to test stuff out, just to test Reflect out. We leveled up Frezia, just to test out Blind. I leveled up Grisel a little bit, and now I tested her out, and I even leveled up Fergie. Because at first I was gonna say, hey, it'd be really good to have an AoE attack break that's relatively cheap and that would lower the damage, but now I see that Fergie's not gonna work. All I would be using her for is for this barrier, and I could never use fan meeting, so definitely not worth it. But that, at least I know that, you know, and I think that that's important. And now you guys can save all your resources, so thank that I save your resources. And yes, absolutely, if you want to just take a character like this with an 840% damage nuke with burst on top of that, so if you were to 6-star her, you would get a lot of value out of that, and she would kill people, especially being a nature character, which means that if someone's low on HP, enemy or ally, that she would literally gain mana per turn, probably be at 10 mana on accident, and pretty much we auto kill anything, literally anything. I can invest into that too and show you guys that, like, you know, it's just, what are your options? And that's always been my thing. What are your options? How are you gonna get by? How are you gonna get to it? Last but not least, before we end this video, I know it's been pretty long. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I hope you guys understand and the message and the process between us. If it was AoE meta, you know, I'd be in there too. Like, how we beat this meta. Last thing I want to show you guys is something about Dragon Blood that I feel like, again, not that many people talk about, and I just want to showcase it as why it's so good in PvE. And as I've stated before, is that these lovely dragon here, but you guys know, as I saw in the other video, is that you can, I showed 2-man as just to show like how effective it is if you brought 2 characters, but this is what you're normally supposed to do, and I did try to show that, and I admitted in that video that my characters were not up to snuff. Now these characters are a little bit more geared out, and with the certain passives, as I'll show you guys just briefly, I don't want to spend too much time on it. I want to do a more fleshed out guide on this stuff. Dragon Knight Blessing, Dragon Knight Blessing, Dragon Knight Blessing, no Dragon Knight Blessing. The reason why I'm bringing Obelia here is because I wanted to prove and keep showing when a video is geared towards Dragon Blood and Wrath and all that other stuff, I really wanted to show you the good things about Wrath as far as how it works in PvE. Now this dragon, as you guys know, during the weekdays has certain elements attached to it. So this one's ice. I'm gonna go into this fight and I'm gonna show you how cool it is when you do have multiple different characters of different elements and you're able to actually get bricks easier. In PvE and also specifically in PvP, it's gonna be really good for you to be able to do this. So let's wait until, so look, we got 1 break. Keep your eye up here. I know I can do it, but I want to showcase of it. So now the Wrath counter comes back, right? That's 1. Right? Makes sense. Now here goes this attack, right? AoE hits everyone. Wrath counter comes back, breaks 2. You understand why that happened? Because every character that is Dragon Blood, everyone that is Dragon Blood in your team, when that Wrath counter hits back, it's going to include their element. It is individual attacks happening at the same time. Hope you guys understand what I'm saying. So right there, it obviously reset. The shield is still there, but it resets. Here we go, got hit. He dodged it. But did you see that it said dodge twice?
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
You see it said dodge twice. I'm trying my best to showcase this stuff and it makes sense. I'm always afraid that like I'm losing people when I say certain things. So what my point here is that not only do you want to get characters that have Dragon Knights, but on certain elemental days, make sure that you have maybe 2, if you can afford it, maybe 3, and get these breaks. Because yes, the dragon still actually attacks you when he's broken in this form, but what is cool about this form is that, you know, you can get the breaks and then you get the benefits of it. So for here, we're doing ignore defense damage, or I hope it still applies to him in that manner. I actually haven't checked that out, but I just wanted to showcase that one little aspect of it. And I'm not saying to use Obelia in that mode, I just wanted to showcase that she's my best ranking ice character, Frost. Jesus. She's my best ranking Frost character for me to try that out on. And I don't want to keep spending to move gear around. So just to show you that it works like that. So all in all, I hope that helped you in some sort of way. I think that now that it's lessened on stacking on certain characters, now that it doesn't stack when it's Wrath on Wrath, it's going to reduce the amount of Dragon Blood counters that are out there, and it's going to reduce the amount of damage that they're holding, because now it's 50% and not 70%. So now I think that even bringing a little bit more tankier characters, or having a little bit more heals on your team, or something of that nature, something that is going to just either fill you back up or mitigate the damage entirely. As you saw, the defense buff doesn't like prevent a lot of damage, but again, that's a character that it's not having the best gear that I have, not 6-star, not enhanced, like not as invested as other characters are, but it's still a way to lessen that damage. Hopefully that's helpful, because it's going to be a crazy bitch trying to edit all this stuff. Once the character drops, we're going to be doing a summon video on that, so whenever the time frame of that lines up, you guys will see that as well. Hopefully wish me some good luck. Hashtag good lucks in the comments. If you guys have any questions or have any further tips about Dragon Blood and ways to get around it. I didn't have any defense break characters, unfortunately. If I'm being honest, defense break, even if it doesn't reduce the shield, it's going to increase your damage, so it's going to help you break the shield either or. And it'd be really hard to test that, you know, how much damage the shield actually has. I mean, you can look at it mathematically and then try to break it down, how much damage the shield, but like if you defense break, you're going to break through the shield quicker. I hope that makes sense. I didn't feel the need to test that. I didn't feel the need to test if you defense break, is it gonna help you break the shield? And yes, it will. As soon as I get that character, that video is going up. So like I said, I'm here for the community. I'm not here for myself. You guys support me just by coming to my stuff and blowing it up. That's all you guys have to do. So I gotta give you guys stuff to blow up. No point intended. Anywho, just remember that every day at the casino is your lucky day, and I'll see you guys later on in the day for that second upload, guys. 2 videos a day, cause I love you. Peace.